Hello and welcome to this grammar session. Here you will study the use of wish and the if clause in Unit 8. Wish. What do you mean when you say you wish something? When you wish something, you generally wish for the present and the future. For example, you wish for a good job. You wish to wear good clothes. You wish to win a lottery. But when you wish something, you wish with the past tense of the verb. For example, I wish I didn't live so far away. So that means I wish I lived closer to my workplace, right? In this case, you can see that I wish I didn't live so far away means that the negative is always used to say the opposite of the current situation. So does he live far away in this case? Yes, he does. Wish can also be used for the future. For example, we wish we could afford to move, but can they move right now? No, they can't move right now. That is why they want to afford a new house. When you use conditionals, you use the if clause. Now, what is the if clause? If generally represents the condition. For example, if you listen to me, everything will be okay. So, in this case, if you listen to him, only then will everything be okay. If not, things may go in the opposite direction. Now, situations in the conditionals described can be in the past, in the present, or in the future. We use different types of grammar structures to tell the reader or the listener when the situation is real or unreal, or when the situation is in the past, in the present, or in the future. Conditionals have two clauses, if clause and the result clause. So let's see a few examples in the next slide. Here you can see there are 4 different kinds of conditionals. These are the 4 main conditionals that we use in English. We have a zero conditional. That means conditionals used for the general truth. Now we use these for scientific facts. The first conditional that we use for the real present or the future, a probable or expected result. The second conditional, which we use for an unreal and imaginary situation, now or at any other time. And the third conditional for unreal or imaginary situation, however, in the past. For example, if you went to bed earlier, you would not be so tired. See it again. If you went to bed earlier, you would not be so tired. When we imagine a situation in the present, we use the past tense. For example, if we had wings, we could fly. Now, in this case, the formation of the whole phrase is with if and then the subject and the past of the verb. And the next part includes the subject and the modal. Now, imaginary situations or events in the present can be explained like this. If I had taken an aspirin, I wouldn't have a headache now. This is because she did not take an aspirin earlier. Right now, she is suffering with a headache. When you use imaginary situations or events in the future, you can use the conditionals like, if we had more money, we could go on a holiday more often. It means that they don't really have a lot of money, so they cannot go to holidays in the future as well. When you use the present conditional with to be, you use the form of were with I, he, she, or it. So when we imagine a situation in the present where the subject is I, she, he, or it, we use were and not was. If I were a T-Rex, I would eat poodles. Now, how do you make conditional questions? How do you make conditional questions? When we ask a conditional question, the imaginary subject and the modal change places. For example, if we had wings, we could fly. If and the subject and the past tense of the verb, when you use as a question, you change the place of the subject and the modal, and the verb is formed in the infinitive. For example, if we had wings, could we fly? Do you see there is an interchange of the modal could and we? Because in the first sentence, we said if we had wings, we could fly. However, when you make it into a question, you will change the modal and the subject places. For example, if we had wings, could we fly? How do you use punctuation in conditionals? The if clause can either be before or after the main clause. Always remember, the if clause will have the past tense. That's how you would recognize that it's a if clause. If the if clause is the first one, then you must put a comma before the main clause. For example, if we had wings, and you insert a comma, we could fly. There is no comma when the main clause is the first one. Okay? For example, if we could fly if we had wings. Do you see any comma in this sentence? There is no comma in this sentence because when the main clause is the first clause, you do not put a comma after or before if. Let's understand the meaning. Which sentence has the same meaning? This question is for you all. So try and figure out what is the meaning, what is the same meaning of this sentence. If I had $15,000, I would buy a new car. So your first option is, I wish I had enough money to buy a new car, or I bought a new car and it cost me $15,000, or I will definitely buy a car next month. So can you figure out the answer? The answer is, I wish I had money to buy a new car. If you see the sentence, it asked you if it said, if I had $15,000, I would buy a new car, which means that this man is wishing for enough money to buy a new car. Let's see another example. If she weren't so tired, she'd go to the party. So if she weren't so tired, she'd go to the party. What does it mean? Does it mean that she was tired of going to parties? Or she will go to the party even though she's tired? Or she won't go to the party because she's tired? Let's see the answer. She won't go to the party because she is tired. How about this sentence? He'd get to work on time if he had a car. He didn't have a car, so he didn't get to work on time. He gets to work on time because he has a car, or he doesn't have a car, so he doesn't go to work on time. Read the sentence again. He'd get to work on time if he had a car. What is the meaning of this sentence? He doesn't have a car, so he doesn't get to work on time. Now, these are the chain stories or even chain poems that one can write. For example, you can imagine a situation and start your sentence. If I drink coffee, I'll stay awake all night. If I stay awake all night tonight, I'll fall asleep in the morning. And if I fall asleep in the morning, my teacher will be angry. This is more like a chain poem. Now think of another chain poem. You can start a chain poem, for example, with a conditional. If I win the lottery, and then you continue. That's it from my side. Bye-bye.